Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
TGIF, do you know what day it is? Thank God, it's Friday, and here we are another day, and we're here on a Friday, and we're going to get it together because the weekend is on its way just a few from now. Don't worry about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome aboard. Here we are, another session of the Coffee Hour, and it's our Friday morning show. We get together each Friday at this time, and of course, we invite you all to come in. And this is a show that we get everybody involved in it too. We have conversation, coffee, donuts, the whole 9 yards. And we combined ourselves together as one big family. We're going to tell you how that works. For all of you, first of all, who've been with us for a very long time, we thank you so much for being with us. And of course, we really appreciate your patronage. And for those of you who are here for the very first time, the show works like this. I, as the host of the show, get things revved up, as I'm doing right now. And while I'm doing that, you can join in conversation. And all it takes is your fingers, your keyboard, and your computer screen. Now, all you have to do is if you have anything to say, anything to talk about, I don't care what it is, all you have to do is just type it right in there on your telephone, on your iPad, or even your computer, or of course your tablet as well, and any other device that you can use to get in touch with us. Use the keyboard, type in, let your fingers do the walking. I will see you right there on the big screen. Of course, I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Why? Because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of opinions and ideas. And I'm thinking that all of you have a lot of those, you know? So we're going to have to unload right here, and we give you the opportunity to do that. And we're going to be here for a whole hour doing this. And of course, it'll be great. And it's great to have you aboard with us, and we're going to continue the show. Now, those of you who are watching us, you ought to know, for the very first time, if you're here, we're not just here where you are, wherever that may be. We are in 3 different locations. Now, one of your locations is one or the other, either Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. We're live. And of course, if you're on Facebook, of course, we want you to take the opportunity to tag all of your friends as much as you can. Tag them all. If not all, maybe a few. Maybe you have too many to tag. And if you're here for the very first time, maybe you could use that opportunity each week to tag a few at a time and bring them all in, you know, and they'll see you, they'll see me, they'll see everybody that's here. And by the way, you can conversate this with everybody that's with us right now too. You can do that. And so invite your friends, tag them along, take that time right now as you do, and you won't have to miss a thing. It just takes just an instant to do that. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to channel onto our YouTube channel. You're doing that right now. Well, what we want you to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. How do you do that? Well, that mouse that you have in your hand, right, that comes with your computer, just drag it over there where it says subscribe, point the arrow to it, and then just click on. That's all it takes. It takes no effort, and there's no money involved. It's all free. And we want you to do that. It's because we want to keep up with you. We want to see how many people are actually with us in this situation that we develop each week. And not only that, it gives you an opportunity to know that whenever we come on live, or whenever the page is active or anything like that, now that you clicked onto it, and for the future on, you'll get instant notification on letting you know when the show is live, if you happen to be on live at the time, or whenever we so much as post a video or whatever it is, whatever activity that's happening, you get an instant notification, and all you have to do is just click onto that instant notification, and it brings you right to us. It's just like if you had tagged someone on your Facebook page, and they see that notification, they click onto that notification, and it brings them right to us. See, it's the same thing. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, there's nothing much to do. The only thing that you have to do is just keep everybody informed, your family, your friends, and a lot of other people who are out there watching. You just keep them informed and let them know that we're out here, and try to get them part of the action as well, so they can be part of us each week as you are. And so we've got all of that going on. And so stay with us for the full hour. And if you can't stay for the whole hour, whatever time you can spare with us, that would be great. But we hope the case is that you're able to spend the whole entire hour with us because you might like it. You never know. You know, as your friends come along, they may like it too. The more, the merrier. So the more that you tag, the merrier it gets. Now, you guys who are watching us on Facebook, okay, you already know the deal. Okay, now you already know how to tag your friends. Now, for all of you who are watching us on YouTube and Instagram, you could do something similar, right? All you have to do is wherever you are, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, cut and paste the link to wherever you are, right? And then just send it out to your friends and they'll see it. And of course, they'll know it's from you. They'll trust you, right? And you'll click on, or they will click on to that link, and it brings them right to wherever you are, and they'll get the chance to see the show as well. So we got a whole lot of things coming up. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facilities. I think we covered everything. So right now we're going to lift our cups, glasses, or whatever it is. And because really, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So you guys excuse me while I shoot up. There we go. Nothing like a touch of cinnamon. And a lot of people like to drink their coffee different ways. Some people like flavored coffee, like hazelnut and all kinds of coffee they have. And you don't necessarily have to have coffee, you know. You know, a lot of people drink tea. Some people drink orange juice. Some people drink just plain milk and even water. Whatever it is, enjoy it with us. And later on in the program, we do our regular routine as we always do. Brian Camp usually comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and we link up with him every week, and he brings us the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. However, he is not going to be with us today. He's taking a quick trip this way where we are here on the East Coast in New York. And he's going to be in and out, so he won't be able to do the show today. But he left us information, his sports, and so we're going to just cover for him. That's what we do. We watch each other's back. I'll cover for him. He'll cover for me. And so that's what we'll do. Not only that, later on in the program, before it's all over, I have those movies. Now, you know, the weekend is here, right? Or will soon be here. It's not official yet until you get off that job. Then your weekend starts if you have the luxury to spend the whole weekend off with nothing to do. I have movies that I'm going to bring you. My picks of the week for your weekend. Now, the weekend entails a lot of things, whatever you do on the weekend, and one of them may be wanting to catch up on some old movies. Now, you may be in a place where the weather's going to keep you indoors all weekend. I don't know. I hope that's not the case, though. But if that's the case, that's a good time to catch up on movies, right? So whether you're in good weather, bad weather, I am going to give it to you anyway, because you might want to use this at some point of the weekend. You know, even if your weekend is hectic, maybe it doesn't, you don't even have to watch it over the weekend. You could always DVR these movies. However, they're coming from Turner Classic Movies, and I'm just going to add that to your list of what to watch. And of course, you guys are very resourceful anyway. There's a lot of streaming, you know, you have the cable and all of that. So, but I'm going to add on to what I have for you, movies that I think you're going to like. And of course, you will. I want to say good morning to Warren Dantzler out there from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's got 70 degrees out there and sunny skies. That's the way we like it. 70 degrees, that's pretty good. It's a little cooler than we have here. I think we're going to go up in temperatures. We're going to go reach as far as 80, but it's 70 degrees now. And I'm pretty sure it's going to go up. So that's pretty good. You got sunny skies all day. And just like what Warren is doing, he comes in and he acknowledges us and we acknowledge him. He was nice enough to give us his weather forecast. That's what we're asking you to do. If you're going to come in and enjoy the conversation, we would like you to do that. It's not mandatory that you do, but it's always a good thing for us because we like to compare notes on what the weather is like in your area compared to what's happening in Greensboro, North Carolina, or compared to New York City. And we like to compare notes. We just like to do that to give everybody a chance to know who's having good weather, who's having bad weather. And we hope that wherever you are, your weather is good, sun and shine. But good news on the Greensboro, North Carolina front, they've got sunshine and it's 70 degrees at the moment. Now, those of you who are living in the New York area or even in the vicinity of New York City, you don't have to worry about that because I am going to take care of all of the local weather forecasts. I'm going to do that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But the rest of you, you come in, please give us the opportunity. Again, we just ask you to do it. You don't have to, but it'd be nice. We would like to know what the weather is in your area because we're global. We're all around the world. So wherever you are, whether you're in Greensboro, North Carolina, New York City, Tokyo, Japan, I don't know, Israel, anywhere around the world, we're there. We're there. We are. And as long as you're in an area where you have good Wi-Fi and a hotspot, you can catch us anywhere. So tell your family and friends about it that we're here, and we like to hear from you wherever you are. Okay, so we got all of that. The weather's coming up. We got that weather coming up. It's a month that's almost out the door now. Here we are, August. It's August 23rd. Can you believe that? It's August 23rd already. And people are now gearing up for the football season. Baseball is almost on its way out. We don't know who's going to play in the World Series just yet. Yankees, okay, you hear me? All right, get aboard. Get with the action, get with the program, all right? But, we've heard the stories, people are in training right now, football, they're getting ready to kick things off. It's going to be a great season, I believe, I hope. Minnesota Vikings, right? Okay. I'll speak out for Warren, for the Giants and his brother. He loves the Jets. Brian Camp loves Detroit Tigers, not the Detroit Tigers, the Dallas Cowboys. What am I talking about? Detroit Tigers. They're the baseball team, right? But the Dallas Cowboys. So we have different football teams that we like, but we're on one accord. We like football, right? So that's coming up. Got a lot of things to talk about too. And then again, we'll talk more about the sports action later on in the program. So we've got that coming along, and it's you and I. And again, tell your family and friends, keep them aboard, get them out here and just say, hey, come on out here and have a little fun with us and enjoy the coffee hour. We always do. Okay. All right. And now you know that we have 74 days left, 74 days left. And that 74 days leads us up to November 5th. And November 5th, you already know, is that glorious day, that marvelous day, that election day. That's all coming up. We've got 74 days. Now, that's not a lot of days. It only seems, right? And before we even get into the Thanksgiving holiday, we have to get ready to cast our lines for votes. And so, this is just a reminder to let you guys know that it is that time and you should gear up for it. And being that we only have 74 days left before that time, just make sure that you're prepared to do that. And what I mean by that is make sure that you're registered to vote. All right. You may not be aware of it, but sometimes things happen at the Board of Elections, just like anything else. So it's a good thing that you get in touch with the Board of Election, make sure that your registration is intact, that you're right there and you're ready to go. And when they give you that okay, then you don't have to worry about anything. The primaries, people voted in the primaries already. I know that in certain states, and that's a good thing. And if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you are allowed to do that. However, if you're an independent, I guess depending on where you live, you're not allowed to vote in the primaries. I know over here where I am, but I think in some states, independents are allowed to vote in the primaries. I wish that was possible everywhere. But if you're an independent and you can't be able to vote for the primaries, just get ready for the general election, which is November 5th. Now, polls will be open. Everybody will be out there in full force. And there are certain ways, if you're not able to get to the polls, by all means, you can get in touch with your local board of election. Let them know that you're unable to do that, but you would like to do it by mail. You can vote by mail still, right? A lot of people, some people want to change that, but that's a good idea, that because we have to think about people who are not able to get out there. And so when you contact your board of elections and let them know that you want to vote by mail, they'll send you the ballot through the mail when that time comes, and you'll have plenty of time to fill it out. And once you get the ballot, please look it over very carefully. Take your time with it, because we don't want you to mark the wrong thing and then realize later that you had marked something that you shouldn't have marked, or that you didn't want to mark, and then it would be too late. So, do that. As a matter of fact, I don't know when the early voting starts. I'm not sure. I don't have a date on that yet, but I will get rid of it. But the thing is, anyone would know that would be your local board of elections. Those are the people who would know that. And so you can get in touch with them. And as I said, when you get in touch with them, find out whether or not that your registration is intact, that you're able to vote, that you are registered, right? People make mistakes, and because you don't want to go to the polls and they turn you down. They say, well, we don't have your name here. You're not registered to vote, so we can't vote. And obviously, if you're not registered, you can't vote, right? So make sure that's all intact. Do that early. This is the time to do it. We have 74 days left before the election day, and make sure you do that. Now, you can do that by Googling it. If you don't know where your local board of elections is located, Google it. Go online, Google it, and you can find out the location where it is. And then you can get in touch with them. They'll supply you with the address and the phone number and the location, and you can take it from there. For the people who live in New York City, I'm coming out of New York City. That's where I'm originating right now. So I have local stuff for you. For the people who live in New York City, if you are so inclined to get in touch with the Board of Elections, I have an address for you and a telephone number that you can get in touch with them to find out whatever you need to know before voting time. And the Board of Elections, what I have here in New York City in Manhattan, is located at 200 Varick Street. It's 200 Varick Street. It's on the 10th floor. I'll give you the full address. It's New York Varick, it's 200 Varick Street, 10th floor. That's New York, New York, zip code 10014. Okay, so that's the whole address. You can visit them during business hours and find out, if you so desire, what your situation is. And if you don't want to visit them, the next best thing to do is to call them. And most people do that. So give them a call. The number is 212-886-2100. That's 212-886-2100. And you can get them doing business hours. It would be better for you to call them before you make the trip up there. Maybe you're too far away to make the trip. And that's what I'm saying. And I know a lot of senior citizens don't have the ability to actually make the trip, so they call. And as I said, when you call them and you can find out when it's time for early voting, they can give you all of that information. They have all of that information. We may not know it right off just yet, but they know it right now. So all you have to do is just give them a call, and give them a call anytime and find out whatever you want to know. And they'll have that information for you. So let me repeat that address: the New York Board of Elections, 200 Varick Street. That's on the 10th floor. That's New York 10014. And the telephone number, once again, is 212-886-2100. That's again 212-886-2100. And I'm going to keep doing this each week, letting you know, keep reminding you about the upcoming election day. I'm going to keep reminding you about that because it's very important. And this time, voting around is so important. It's so important And if you haven't voted before, if you're not registered, get out there and do it. For you people who are young and you just turned 18, this is your first shot. Get out there and do it. We need your vote. It's very critical. We want to make sure that you know that too. I see Brian Camp out there, although he's not going to be on the air with us, but good morning to him. He's got 73 degrees and he's right now in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I think he's just passing through. He has 73 degrees out there and it's sunny in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as he makes route to New York. And well, we have our weather here too. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give it to you right now. And those of you who want to chime in weather, thank you, Brian, for that weather forecast in your location. And for the rest of you who want to chime in, let us know what your weather forecast is. We really would appreciate that. As I said, as I always say, it's not mandatory for you to do that, but it's something that we just like to have. We got 75 degrees in New York City. Warren, you have 70 degrees. Warren has 70 degrees in Greensboro, North Carolina, but I think it's going to go high. And it's going to go high in our area as well. And our weekend is a good one as compared to last weekend. We didn't have such a good weekend weather-wise, but this weekend seems to be good. Right now, let's get started. 75 degrees presently, mostly sunny skies, high 82 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. For tonight, Friday night, going out on the town, partly cloudy skies, leave the umbrella home. I can say that safely. We'll have a low temperatures at 65 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And as we look forward to Saturday, my favorite day of the week, and I'm pretty sure yours is, favorite day of the weekend, I should say, intervals of clouds and sunshine. So that's not bad. They didn't say anything about rain and they're not saying anything about it now. It's going to be high around 85 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And for Saturday night, you're going out on the town, clear skies, low 67 degrees, winds light and variable. And as we reach Sunday, we rest up on Sunday, because you have to go back to work the following day. All right. So therefore, you want to rest up, even though it's going to be a nice Sunday. For those of you who want to do your Sunday morning, whatever you do, or you want to go out to church, you can leave the umbrella home. It's going to be sunny along with a few clouds, just a few clouds. And we'll have a high 86 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. All right. And our current temperature right now, as I repeat, it's 75 degrees here in New York City. That's the New York City weather forecast. Now, for the rest of you, let us know what your weather is. We would like to hear about that. That's a good if you're going to join in conversation. So good weather in Philadelphia, good weather in Greensboro, North Carolina, and New York City as well. And of course, we thank you guys for being along with us. Just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And this is a show, as I said, we get together each week. All right. And each week at this time, we get involved in conversation, and we like you to get involved in conversation along with us. It's a good thing to do, right? All right. Usually Brian comes along with us. He's out there listening right now, watching right now. He comes along with the latest developments in today's world of sports. But of course, he's got the day off today. So we're going to cover for him and see what we got in the worlds of sports. So shall we dance? Okay. Conservative populist and former NBA player Royce White defeated Navy veteran Joe Frazier, not the Joe Frazier in Minnesota. Primarily, a primary election for the Republican nomination will challenge Democrat Senator Amy Klobuchar in November. White is a first-round pick by the Houston Rockets in 2012, but never played for the team after disclosing mental health issues and saying that he didn't want to go on the road with the team. He didn't want to fly out on the road with the team. Now, on this day, August 23rd, 1933, the first television boxing match, 6-round exhibition at Broadcasting House in London. And in 1936, Baseball Hall of Famer Bob Feller pitches his first game and strikes out 15 batters. In 1970, Roberto Clemente compiles his record second straight 5-hit game. In 1982, Seattle Gaylord Perry was ejected from the game throwing a spitball. You couldn't do that back in those days. In 1988, Mike Tyson, and I remember this, Mike Tyson and Mitch Green, two boxers, brawled at 4 a.m. in the streets of Harlem. Birthdays today, 1934, Christian Sonny Jurgensen, NFL quarterback broadcaster, was born in Wilmington, North Carolina. In 1945, NFL Rayfield Wright was born in Griffin, Georgia. In 1948, Ron Blomberg, Major League Baseball first baseman and first designated hitter, was born in Atlanta, Georgia. In 1958, Julio Franco, Major League Baseball player. He was an infielder. He was born in Cato Mayor, Dominican Republic. In 1966, Rick Smith, an NBA center for the Indiana Pacers, was born in Eindhoven, Netherlands. In 1968, Cortez Kennedy from the Seattle Hawks was born in Aseo, I believe that's how you pronounce it, in Arkansas. In 1969, Jeremy Scrapp, he's an ESPN sportscaster and an author, was born in New York City, our hometown here. And in 1978, Kobe Bryant from the NBA, he was a guard and a five-time champion from the LA Lakers. Rest his soul, he was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and that's where Brian is right now. In other sports, injuries continued to make the Atlanta Braves 2024 season difficult and disappointing. The latest setback is the third baseman, Austin Riley, suffering a fractured right hand that is expected to sideline him for 6 to 8 weeks. The timeline means that Riley will miss the remainder of the season. Now, if the Braves make it to the postgame or the postseason, then he should be available. Yet Riley's absence from Atlanta's lineup could be a major factor in whether the team holds on to that wild card spot. ESPN fired reporter Sam Ponda on Thursday, citing budget cuts, but former sports reporters are pointing to a strong stance on fairness in women's sports as evidence of their motivation or their motive to cut ties. Michelle Tafoya, a former NFL sideline reporter who left the industry in 2022, weighed in on the firing of Pondo on Friday. And she says, I don't believe that anything, she says, let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, we lost the space. Teleprompter going too fast. Okay. Michelle says, I don't believe that anything is just budget cuts anymore. And Tafoya, that's what she said. And she also said, and I quote, I think that they are clearly wanting an off-ramp for Sam. That's unquote. And Ponda was among a small group of sports reporters, who have publicly called for fairness in women's sports amid ongoing debate over transgender inclusion. Jaden Daniels, the 2024 number 2 overall NFL draft pick, is starting his rookie season off to a strong start after competing along 4 other quarterbacks. Daniels will be in Washington with the Washington Commanders starting quarterback. That's what he's going to be. He's going to be the starting quarterback. And Daniels, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner out of LSU, competed alongside the rest of the quarterback field in 2 preseason games, throwing for 123 yards across the 2 games. And both games were lost by the Washington, who fell 20-17 against the New York Jets and 13-6 against the Miami Dolphins. Pat McAfee, he's an announcer, so he announces on the past Monday Night Raw, which I love very much, that he will be taking off from the WWE for a few shows for some time. He's going to take off that time. He's going to go in hiatus, and he says, "I'm very bummed out that tonight will be my last trip to the wonderful WWE family for a while." And McAfee also explained, well, actually, he didn't explain it about why he's taking off. But I do believe that's because of the football season that's coming around, because that's where he's basically in. So he's taking off for the football season, which he says is awesome. All right. Chicago Sky rookie Angel Reese has quite an impressive WNBA season thus far, and filled with breaking records and making headlines. Now she's added another league record to her resume, courtesy of historic double doubles. And despite a 68 to 60, 86 to 63 loss to the Phoenix Mercury on Sunday, Reese still managed to make WNBA history as she racks up 4 straight double-double during the game. Reese officially became the fastest player in the league, and the history score of 20 double-doubles, a feat that she accomplished in 27 games. And so there you go. That's it for sports. That's what we have on hand this week. We thank Brian Camp for taking the time to give us that information on sports, even though he couldn't be here. But wherever he is, we thank him for that. And we look forward to seeing him back here next week. And if you're just here joining us for the first time, right here on the Coffee Hour, we do thank you so much for being along with us for the very first time. Those of you who have been with us forever and ever, of course, we needn't tell you that we do appreciate it. We do appreciate you. And we like you to come back again and again. I want to say hello to George Joseph out there. Good morning to you, George. Thank you so much for being along. George is, hey, by the way, George moves around. Now, I lost touch with him. I found out he moved to North Carolina. So he's out there where you are, Brian. He's out in North Carolina where you are. Now, see, we got 3 people from North Carolina who are watching the show today. We got Warren from Greensboro, Brian from Charlotte. George, I'm not sure what part of North Carolina you're from. I know he's out there. I think he'll give us that information in a minute. So we got people. North Carolina is in the house. So let's see it from North Carolina. They're out there. Let's see, Warren's giving me a little personal information out there, which I won't read on the air, but you tell that person I said hello, okay? Okay, again, here we are. And by the way, guys, it's time for me to shoot up. So excuse me while I do that. So touch of cinnamon in here today. So I'm enjoying that. And those of you who are out there enjoying coffee or tea or whatever your beverage is, your beverage of choice, no, put away the martini. That's not time for that just yet. Put that away. All right, we'll do that a little later on. I might even join you. I don't know. Anyway, wherever you're from, it doesn't matter whether you're from North Carolina, or you're from New York City, or someplace around the world. We're here. We're here. We're all around the world. We're global. We thank you for being along with us, because we keep the show rolling, and we thank you so much for that. And you know what I wanted to talk about briefly? I wanted to talk about IA. Now, a lot of you are familiar with IA. I'm sorry, IA. Let me turn the letters around. AI. AI, artificial intelligence. Do you know about that? I just want to, I hear a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of people are really being freaked out about it. So I just want to, take a little time to calm your nerves about AI. AI, artificial intelligence. Now, that may be something new to you. And even the name may be something new to you. AI, all right? And when people hear AI, they just go wild. AI, artificial intelligence. is no more than enhancement. Okay, and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. First of all, AI have been here forever. Before a lot of you were born, AI was here. They used it in all kinds of industries. They use it in the music industry. They use it in the film industry. They use it in photograph and the photographer's industry. AI is no more than enhancement. Now, the reason why people are freaking out about AI is because some people, they put it in the wrong hands of some people and just make crazy things about it. You know, it's just like people when they hack your computer or hack your Facebook or wherever you are. It's something like that. It's something that tries to scare people. Don't fear it. Just be careful with it. And AI has been along. The only difference between AI, only between the difference between the event now and then the way when it was way back is that because we have software, sophisticated software to produce a lot of things. Now, we use it in radio. George can tell you about this. George can tell you about this. We use it in radio. The only difference is that we did it by hand, you know, and the way we did AI is tape editing. That's AI. Tape editing is AI. You make something sound better or you make something sound worse. You know, let's say, for instance, if I'm, you know, you're doing a radio show or am I doing a radio show, something like that, you know, and I say, well, you know, I don't need to hear that part in there. That part, we can take that part out, let's cut that part out. And when you play it back on the air, it's like you never missed anything. All right. Artificial intelligence. All right. And the same thing in film. You can edit things, you can add things. I could make a person say something that they didn't say. Now, that would be wrong to do that. You know, I can cut pieces in a tape, and George, you know all about this. I can make people say things that they didn't say. I can make them say words that they didn't say. You know, I remember I was working back in the days, George, working at WOR. I never forget the time. I was engineering a certain program, and the host on the show says, "Ah, you got to be nice to Frank because he may make us sound bad or make us say things that we didn't say." And he knew. You know, of course, I would never do anything like that. I would do the opposite, make something bad sound good. Donna Hanover, who's an actress, and she was formerly married to the former mayor Giuliani. When I engineered a show one time with her, and before she went on the air, and I like to do that with I did like to do that with hosts. I used to always go into the studio and say, "Listen, do you want anything in particular? You want me to do anything in particular for you?" And the only thing she said is just make me sound good. I said, yeah, that I can do. And that's what you want to do with artificial intelligence. You want to, instead of making people sound bad, you want to make them sound good. And the reason why I say don't freak out about it is because sometimes it gets into the wrong hand of other people. Some people use this as a tool, as a toy, and it's not, you know? And so when we do audio voiceovers and things like that, and we put things underneath it, music, sometimes you can cut, let's say a voiceover or something like that, and you add music, that's artificial intelligence. That's basically what it is. It's enhancement. You're just making something sound better than what it is, or making something sound worse than what it is. Donald Trump more said that, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I'm just making an example here. We already seen the convention, right? We already seen that the crowds that Kamala Harris drawed, right? And so Donald Trump went on the air and just said, you know, that there wasn't a real crowd out there. They use AI to enhance that crowd. There was nobody out there. He said there was nobody there. They used AI. So I'm just saying that that can be done, but it wasn't done. It could be done, but it wasn't done. You could do things to make things sounds better, and you can make things sound worse. But unfortunately, it gets into the wrong hand of some people. All right. And so we want to make sure it stays out of the hand of some people. But I tell you guys, don't freak out about it. Don't freak out about it, but just be very careful. When you go online, watch, just pay attention to what's out there. If you're going online, if you're going on social media and things like that, just pay attention. And then they have these software, these light software for people to use, which is kind of fun in a way. You know, those softwares where you could make cartoons of yourself, artificial intelligence. But they didn't call it artificial intelligence at that time when it first came out. Where this name came from, I don't know. They just make up these names, and it kind of freaks people out. And we didn't use the name artificial intelligence back in the day when I was working in radio. We just did editing enhancement, just audio enhancement, visual enhancement. That's what we called it. AI, artificial intelligence. So guys, don't freak out about it. It's going to be okay. And just like Al Sharpton says, it's going to be joy in the morning. If you're just joining us, thank you so much. It's the coffee hour. And what did you say, Warren? Yeah, I know. The size crowd, the crowd size, is that what he's interested in? So that's what he's preoccupied by that. I don't know. But listen. If he knew anything about artificial intelligence, he can fake it himself. He fakes everything else, right? Anyway, you're just joining us as the coffee hour, and we're going to be with you for the remaining of the hour, and we hope you stay along with us. Peter Marshall, the actor and singer turned game show host who played straight man to the stars of 16 Years on Hollywood Square, died. He died Thursday of kidney failure at his home in the Encino neighborhood of Los Angeles. Marshall helped define the form of smooth, professional, but never too serious modern game show host on more than 5,000 episodes of the series, and it ran on NBC from 1966 to 1981. Marshall was 98 years old. Renowned king of daytime talk, Phil Donahue, who created and hosted the Phil Donahue Show, died last Saturday. The groundbreaking TV talk show journalist died in his home surrounded by his family, including his wife of 44 years, actress Marlo Thomas, as well as his sister, his children, and grandchildren. He passed away peacefully following a long illness. Donahue was 88 years old. Sandra Bullock has been a major fan favorite in Hollywood for a long time, but lately she hasn't quite been taking up all of the many roles as she did back in the day, with her most recent past being her more or less cameo role as Maria in 2026 Bullet Train. Nonetheless, it seems like Bullock is all set to make her return to the entertainment industry following her hiatus. But here's the twist. And this time, she is reportedly more focused on the big bucks earned. According to the latest report from sources, she will be making sure that her Hollywood return isn't cheap by focusing on producing movies and the way she did on The Lost City. Milo Callahan has been cast on the series lead in The Rainmaker, a USA network, and the show is originally picked up by the cable back in June and is based on the iconic, or I should say the iconic John Grisham, his novel of the same name. And he joins previously announced cast members John Slattery and Madison Eastman in the series. Actor Michael Manson was arrested on a charge of misdemeanor domestic battery over the last weekend, I should say, and he was taken into custody in Malibu, California last Saturday. He was arrested under California Penal Code Section 243, which is battery of spouse. and his bail is set at $20,000. Birthdays, Governor of Michigan, and we just saw her on TV last night, Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan, and she's 53 years old today. And actor, the late River Phoenix is 54, would have been 54. Actor Chris Potter is 64. Actress Shelley Long of Cheers is 75 years old, and so is Rick Springsteen, singer Rick Springsteen. He's 75 years old. Actor Tony Bill is 84. Actress Jeannie, who is Barbara Eden, I Dream of Jeannie. She's 93 years old today and doesn't look a day over 21. Actress Vera Miles is 95 years old today, and actor and dancer, the late Gene Kelly, would have been 112 years old. There you go. They're all celebrating birthdays, and happy birthdays to the ones who are here with us and the ones who have been here and no longer with us, but we celebrate you anyway. And those of you who may be celebrating a birthday or want to have it announced here, by all means, you can get in touch with us. And I have two sources how you can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. And the email address, I'll give that to you first, is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. And that's very important because you don't want to spell it wrong. Otherwise, you will never get your email through. Frank Allan Prod. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, you can get in touch with us for any reason other than your birthday as well. If you have a birthday coming up, of course, you know, if you request that you want it acknowledged on the show, we will do that for you. You could, if you have a birthday today, you could, and you're in the room, you could acknowledge it right now, right? And then maybe there are other things that you want to do. Maybe you want to talk about this show, or maybe you have aspirations of trying to interject things into our show. You have to get past me on that one. But maybe you may have a suggestion about the show, or maybe there's someone you want me to interview or you haven't seen or you would like to see on the show. We can talk about that. Or maybe you want to critique the show. We're all open ears about that one too, you know, and as a matter of fact, we welcome that because it gives us a lot of time to know where we stand with you, all right? And you can do that. And so please do that. And then at the same time, make sure that you keep all of that information with you, all right, that I just gave you, and keep it locked into a certain place, maybe like your cell phone or your computer, your iPad, and you load it up in your any electronic device that you can do, right? It's not like you have to lug it with you everywhere you go. And you don't have to use those old phone books that they used a long time ago. Remember those pocket phone books? As a matter of fact, hold on a second. I think I have one here right now. Remember these? These phone books, you open it up and you can write your whoever you want to contact with. You can write the number, the name, the number. These are the old phone books I have. I have a lot of nostalgia stuff that I can show you. Maybe one of these days on the show, I'll bring back the past and show you some other things. But it's now the electronic age, and you can do that by your cell phone, right? Your cell phone, your computer, and lock it in there and just keep it handy for whenever you need it. It's right there for you, right? So keep it right there. So let me give you that address once again. That email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. The little black book. It's frankallanprod@aol.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. You know what I'm going to do? I showed you the little black book. You know what I think I'm going to do next week? I think I'm going to bring next week's show. I'm going to bring some nostalgic stuff. because you're going to say, man, they don't use those things anymore. They don't have those things anymore. I'm going to dig hard and find a lot of things that you probably remember that they don't use anymore. Like people don't use rotary phones anymore. They don't use those phones anymore. They don't do that. That's going to make for a good show next week. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to make sure that my producer keep me in mind about that. I'm going to bring a lot of stuff next week and see if you can remember some of the things. Because I'm a collector. I like to collect things. Like this little black book. In this case, this is a tan book. But we look forward to that. Hey, Mary, thank you for being along with us. Mary Reed from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much. And you're welcome about the AI talk. I don't want anybody to freak out about that. And a lot of people like yourself, Mary, don't like it. But I got to tell you, I like it. But whenever I use it on a positive level. I don't do it to hurt anyone. I mean, I do it on a fun level. And sometimes I may, poke fun at myself, right? I may poke fun at myself and put my head on somebody else's body, things like that. Yeah, thank you, Mary. And thank you for being along with us, by the way. It's nothing to freak out about. Please do not freak out about it. That's what they want you to do. They want you to freak out. Be smarter than them, and you can learn and study AI. Like a lot of people learn how to hack. Not that they want to hack, but they want to learn how to hack and unhack. A lot of people do that. There are a lot of smart people out there. So, don't freak out about a lot of things. If like Kamala Harris said in her speech last night, she said, if there's something, wrong, do something about it. Just do something about it. And speaking of all of that, I did keep in touch all week with the Democratic Convention. And I'm sure a lot of you people out there have done it as well. And I thought it was a great convention. It wrapped up last night with Kamala Harris. She was the keynote speaker, obviously. And in that speech, of course, she accepted the nomination of being the president of the United States, which we're happy about. A lot of people didn't watch it because, to be honest, it was lengthy, but it was so much fun to watch. And I mentioned this last night on the show on Talkback Live. It was so much fun to watch. People are having a good time. I've never seen a convention like that before. People were having a good time. It was like a big party. I only wish I were there. I really wish I were there. It was like people were like dancing and having a good time. And at the end of Kamala Harris' speech, all of the balloons came down. And here's something that, and then in the end, it kind of freaked Donald Trump more out. He went into a tirade after that. He lost his mind. He had a terrible meltdown, and they showed some of the tweets that he did, the so-called tweets that he did, saying things that had nothing to do with anything, and but the convention was fine, and all of the people that turned out. Think about all of the people that turned out. If I miss anybody, it's only because there were just too many people to mention. But you had James Taylor, Stevie Wonder, Oprah Winfrey. Pink was there last night. Who else did you have? A lot of people. The speakers. Al Sharpton was a speaker. Stevie Wonder even spoke. And just so many. Name them out there. There are a lot of you guys out there. You can name if I miss anyone. But the point is that she drew a lot of people, which kind of put Donald Trump more, he bent out of shape. Because he wasn't able to get the attention of those kind of people. The only people in the Republican Party, when they had the Republican convention, the only two he had were two has-beens. Hulk Hogan, who you could say, wow, he's so retro, man. That's 40 and doing the same old thing. Yeah, that's 40 years ago. And then Kid Rock, who no one knows about, and that's all he had. But all of these other people that came up, they had a DJ there. They had the rap Little, I think his name was Little John, I think his name was, you know, all of these great people that came out and supported her. And Beyonce, even though she wasn't there, she was there in spirit because she allowed Kamala Harris to use her freedom song. She licensed her to do that, which, by the way, Donald Trump he just likes to just go in the bag and grab people's song and play it, without any permission. You can't do that, and I know this for a fact as a radio person. You just can't play records just because they're there. You have to be licensed to do that. You have to have a license for it. And what I mean by the license, like you don't have to, let's say the disc jockey don't have to have a license per se. It's the radio station has to be licensed to play music. Now talk radio stations, they don't have license to play music, so they can't play music. They may be able to play 15 seconds of certain things. You can get away with that. But to play the full sound, you can't do that. And so you just can't. Donald Trump just grabs music right out of the bag and play it, which is why he's being sued by Isaac Hayes III. I told you about that story last week. Isaac Hayes III is looking out for his father's legacy. That tune, Hold On, I'm Coming, which was a big hit by Sam and Dave, right? He wrote that. He wrote that song. He co-wrote that song. And when Trump played that at one of his rallies, Isaac Hayes III stepped right on in, and now he has to pay. He's asking for $3 million. Way to go, Isaac Hayes III. Protect your family, protect your father. I have those movies coming up, and of course, and yeah, Chuck Schumer did his dance. That's right, Mary. Chuck Schumer did his dance. He was having everybody's having a good time. I should have been there. Let me talk about those movies right now before we go off the air. I have those movies, and I'm going to start right now. Movies that you may enjoy for the weekend. My picks for the week for your weekend. And let's start off with this one that goes back to 1974. This is a New York kind of movie. I love this movie. It was remade with Denzel Washington and John Travolta. I didn't particularly like it. As much as I like those two actors, I didn't particularly like the movie because it was a makeover. This is the original from 1974, The Taking of Pelham 123. Remember that, with Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw, and Martin Boston. Now that's coming on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch it Friday night, Saturday morning at 2:30 a.m. All right. Now, if you don't want to stay up that late, then I don't blame you. You can DVR it and watch it later. Right. That's The Taking of Pelham 123. High Society for 1956 with Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, and Frank Sinatra. That's also on Turner Classic Movies. And that's Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then you could see it again Sunday at 2:30 a.m. Eastern. That's Saturday night, Sunday morning. So you got a chance to see it twice. Again, if you can't watch it in real time, DVR it. The Apartment, 1960, Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray. As she says, out with the old, ring out the old, ring in the new, ring a ding ding. That was Shirley MacLaine's part. It's right there. Turner Classic Movies at Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. You can check that out as well. And of course, go to Turner Classic Movies and check out the freebies. You have a lot of free movies, and of course, pay-per-view movies, sporting events, children's program, and documentary. If you have like Lifetime kind of movies, you can check that out and see what's available. All kinds of things, and everybody is streaming too. So there's a lot of things. You're very resourceful. You can check out all of that. So let me give you those movies once again. Taking of Pelham 123, Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw, Martin Boston, and that's on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 2:30 a.m. Eastern. High Society with Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, and Frank Sinatra. Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 10 a.m. and then Sunday at 2:30 a.m. Eastern. And The Apartment with Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray. Turner Classic Movies. That's at 5:30 p.m. and it's all right there on Turner Classic Movies. I hope you get a chance to enjoy it. And I hope you had a good time and enjoyed the show today, because I had a good time. And of course, we'll be back here next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m. For those of you who don't know it, it's Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp is going to be along with me once again with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And I look forward to seeing you too. I also look forward to seeing you back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Kemp, of course, who make his return with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. So, ladies and gentlemen, until that time, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy all the movies I gave you. Hooray, hooray! We're having a good time. Kamala Harris, God bless you. You're in, like Flint. I have that feeling. Okay, take care and have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.